Grizzlies fans, welcome back into the FedEx Forum. I'm doing it in the arena for the first time ever, so I'm kind of excited. It has a cooler background. We're playing the Lakers for the fourth and final time this season. It is game 81 of a scheduled 82. Allie, Clifton joins to break this one down. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you today? You ready for the regular season to wrap up?
Yeah, I think you reached this point of the season, and especially for those that have an opportunity to, whether it's the play-in and playoffs, it's the best time of year, like we know, right? So, but it's crazy just how I feel like it was this way last year too. Ever since this new structure, obviously with the play-in tournament coming down to the wire, these final regular season games. I mean, the NBA clearly has gotten what they wanted with this format and this structure. So as much as you're excited about the postseason, it's also like when, where, who, I mean, we were doing our podcast yesterday and it certainly may have changed, but as of yesterday, 19 of the 20 teams in the play-in and playoff picture, their seedings were not set yet. So that's wild.
So it's just Boston?
Yeah, it was just Boston. So it's fun. It's spicy. Obviously, I don't want to dismiss the regular season, right? But man, yes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love the postseason?
Okay, so let's talk about it. So I've said this the last couple games. The Grizzlies did not make playoffs, so their seeding does not matter. The Lakers are in this really close race right now. They've clinched play-in, but depending on wins and losses between a whole bunch of teams in the West, they could end anywhere from 7 to 10. Really trying to create separation with the Kings and the Warriors, who are all 11 games behind the top seeded team. So when we're playing today, you have one more game against the Pelicans, and because everything is wins, losses with everyone, like how important is this game for the Lakers?
I think very important. Obviously, you want to put yourself in the best position possible when it comes to any kind of postseason opportunity. And based off of percentages, if you will, our stats going into this game with you guys, in terms of the opportunity to be in the 7th seed for the Lakers, you have just a 3% chance to them potentially falling in the 10 seed at a 69.7% chance, right? 21.8% for the 9 seed, 5.6 for the 8 seed. I think having said that, as much as we want to talk about the importance of seeding, this team has to be healthy. And these last 2 games have really hurt them just because they have not been that, right? They've been without their stars. Obviously, no Anthony Davis for much of Sunday against the Timberwolves, which sets them back. And then obviously not able to play against the Warriors. You did have Braun a late scratch against the Timberwolves on Sunday. And then going into that Warriors game, which just held such high playoff implications, right? He shows up about an hour before tip. So it's obviously it matters. It means a ton. But I think, too, just the way in which the team is playing, and you still have these 2 games with opportunity and reps to just get back to whether it's full strength, full health, whatever it may be, to approach it with that sort of urgency. I think that's where it matters most, because obviously next week's going to happen and it's going to come and it's going to be what it is. But if you're not healthy, if you're not playing the way you want to feel your strongest as a team, none of that really matters. So I think that's why these 2 games, they certainly do matter for those reasons.
And speaking of those 2 guys, AD and LeBron James are both questionable going into today's game. So I'm assuming it'll be closer to tip for the Grizzlies. Go on Grizzlies Twitter PR and see the injury report. It's, I think, 13 or 14 guys long. But I want to talk about one guy who last time the Lakers were here was just a week and a bit ago, was Rui. And there is this short list of guys who we call Grizz killers. CJ McCollum is one of them. And Rui has become one of these guys who every time he steps in this arena, just somehow has a really good game. He had 32 and 10 last game. Is he one of those guys who the Lakers count on when those big stars are out? Because he certainly does here, Allie.
Yeah, and to your point, the 32 and 10, the 7 of 8, just the efficiency from deep, obviously, and it goes back to the postseason. To your point, where I think a lot of the confidence for him is just natural when it comes to playing in Memphis. But I think for Rui, we have this stat since February 3rd, the Lakers are 20 and 10 since that time, and that's when he was, I believe, around then inserted into the starting lineup. And Rui's, 16, he's averaging 16 and 5, 44% from deep, 57% from the field. Playing alongside your superstars is not always an easy thing for role players, but it's something that I think he has embraced. And I think he shines alongside, especially LeBron. I don't think there's any coincidence as to why the two really bonded over the summer and went through workouts together. There was an understanding that when LeBron wasn't going to be able to play this season, Rui could step in and fill in that void as much as possible, obviously. But I just think his ability to complement the stars and understand when they're drawing so much attention, whether it's single, double, triple coverage at times, just the purity of his shot. You know, we talk about it all the time. It's just so simple. He keeps the game so simple, but he's got the size, he's got the physicality, the presence. And not only that, but he can hang on both ends of the floor. And so when you're able to complement when you're out there the way he does, that's where I think it makes the biggest difference.
And hey, we're talking efficiency. The last time the Lakers were here as a team, they shot 56% from the field, 54% from three. Looking ahead, you want to get everyone healthy, but when you're so efficient, that's like, I feel like the team is just getting the chemistry they need heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's half the battle. And I think it's something that this team has certainly strived for all season because they've dealt with so many injuries.
Yeah.
You know, and we can say whatever we want, but you can honestly say that across the board for the entire league. When you're healthy, it's different, right? And when you're not, right, no one's going to feel sorry for you. It's not an excuse, but I think there is some reality there. And I think it's something that this team, when they won the in-season tournament, health was on their side. You know, they were playing at an all-time level for the most part. Guys were healthy, the roles were defined. Coach had that option to be able to play guys at different points, but they understood when that time was coming. And it's something that as of late, since February, if you will, they've been able to roll with that same kind of mentality and mindset. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, to your point of efficiency, none of that matters unless you're healthy, unless you have that on your side.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of health, I mentioned the Grizzlies injury report. I'm just going to give a quick glimmer of hope for Grizzlies fans who are watching this. Jake LaRavia is in tonight. He had 25 points the last time we played the Lakers about a week ago, and he's coming off a career high 32-point game against the Cleveland Cavaliers in our last game. So just a light or a bright light when you're looking at who is in and who is out today. It'll be him and Gigi Jackson playing tonight. Allie, for the fourth and final time this season, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, no.
This is so sad.
We'll preview these games next season. I'll be here whenever you need me. Having said that, you should always do it in that background.
I know, isn't it nice? I know, it's actually like really nice. Starting five. Wait, I can just show everyone the arena. This is your actual arena. Your team's warming up in front of me.
Oh, there you
nice.
go.
Very nice. Yeah, it's not my kitchen. So thank you, Allie.
Hey, what do you know? You're welcome, as always.